got you 11, and with me as always is Trey.
Alright, so we are on take two. Hopefully, this goes live. We are back with another episode of the West Coast Podcast. Appreciate you guys for stopping by. We are coming to you live at about 2 p.m. West Coast time on a Saturday. And okay, I got the notification on my phone, so it looks like we are good to go. So, with that being said, we appreciate you guys for stopping by. Got a lot of stuff to get into. By the time we come live to you guys again in 2 weeks, the NFL draft will be completed. So we're going to be talking NFL draft and all that. And we had a new patch. Be sure to check out Shane Got You 11 on YouTube if you want to keep up to date with everything patch related. And with Ultimate Team, we had the Ring of Honor promo. We have the new 99 overall Michael Vick. Surprised it took this long for Michael Vick to get into the game, but he is live currently in the game. And Shane Got You 11 is actually playing past the competitive season, doing the weekly tournaments on PlayStation. Be sure to come in live when he's doing that, trying to win some money and try not to get glitched out. But if it does get glitched out, he's going to win the freeze offs that they have. So with all that being said, let's get into it. Shane, how have you been doing? I know you've had a lot of birthdays going on, and it seems like this week has been pretty crazy for you. So take me through the last few days in the life of Shane Got You 11.
Appreciate it, Trey. Shout out to X Fan being in here like always. No, so the April is like I call it the April is just a month of birthdays for us. Like we have on the April 10th is my father's, April 11th is my son's, April 12th is our good close friend. Then April 20th is my brother's, and then April 26th or 27th is my mother-in-law. I think that's like 6 birthdays. So in this last week, we had 3 birthdays. Last night, we went out for my close friend's birthday. I apologize. I'm really tired, you guys. And I didn't go to bed till about 7 a.m. this morning. And for an old dog like me, I had fun, but whoo wee, I am burned out. I'll say that I am burned out. I'm tired, but no, it's been pretty much fun. You know the vibes. What was I gonna say? There was something that I was gonna say and I completely forgot. So Trey, I'll send it back to you. I blame it on old age on that one.
Yeah, so Shane had a rough night last night, going out, but it's always good to go out, live it up, especially if it's your friend's birthday. But I can imagine it's like you get home at 7 a.m. and then you realize you have that midlife crisis realization that you're too old and you're like, damn, where did the time go? So, but we appreciate Shane Got You 11 for being here, being able to push through the hangover. I don't even know if he gets hangovers, but just pushing through the tiredness and all that. I'll try to compensate by coming with the energy and all that. So, Shane, we had a patch that came out about last week. Pretty surprising to me because we have the new college football game, which has an official release date. June 20th, I think, is going to be the release date for the new college football game. So you would think that a lot of people at EA Sports, that would be their primary focus. So for those people that didn't get a chance to watch the video, what are some of the things that they patched? And ever since they patched it, did you notice anything different about it?
So the main thing I believe, okay, like I said, I am trying to use my brain power here. The main thing that I noticed was fatigue, right? They said they were going to fix fatigue. There's still fatigue issues. I did not have any fatigue issues before. After they fixed it the first couple of times, yada yada. I haven't had an issue since then, so maybe other people did. But I did notice they did do a ghost patch that I didn't know until afterwards. So for a while, I was having issues where I couldn't even go to my item binder without it crashing out or my Madden application closing. Knock on wood, but since the patch, I can go to my item binder, I can go to the store, I can go to the auction house, and it all works. And I haven't gotten booted out of Madden since then. And I'm not talking about the freeze glitch that, those PS5 dorks do. Yeah, I call you dorks because you're dorks. But, anyways, I'm just talking about in general. It just doesn't. I'm just not sitting there going through trying to go to the item binder and it says Madden application, is closed down. So that is basically what happened on the patch. Some people said it didn't work for them, unfortunately. I'm not entirely shocked, though, Trey, and what's up, Rose? Shout out to Rose for being in here. I'm not entirely shocked, Trey, that they still are kind of focusing on Madden. Even when NCAA comes out, I do think if they can make a buttload off of NCAA, like either like MCS version, like competitive version, or whatever Dynasty, then I think the focus definitely will go to NCAA as much as Madden. But Madden's a cash cow. You know what I mean? Madden's a cash cow. So I think they're just like gonna see how NCAA does this year, what they can get from it, and if they can start getting stuff like they did with Madden, yeah, then it's gonna be on and popping.
Yeah, no, definitely. I hear what you're saying about that. We all know the sooner that you realize that Madden is a cash grab, the better off you would be. I remember when I was coming up playing video games didn't have microtransactions. Nowadays, you play a video game, it's going to have microtransactions or it's going to have a shit ton of advertisements for gambling and all that, but I digress. Okay, let's get into some of the new cards that they released in Ultimate Team. So they dropped the Ring of Honor promo, and some of the names that are top is we got a new 99 Devin Hester that looks pretty good, 99 Tony Gonzalez, and the 99 Troy Polamalu. Troy Polamalu's a midget, so I probably wouldn't use him. Just being honest. Oh, it's the return of the Dick. It's the return of the Eric Dickerson. Shout out to Eric Dickerson in Madden 20. He has a 99 overall card. And we have the 99 Lawrence Taylor and the 99 Michael Vick. And we have the 99 Ultimate Legend Randall Cunningham. Well, let me go back to see if that is the right. Dante Culpepper, excuse me. The 99 overall legend, Dante Culpepper. So, Shane, after hearing about these new cards, how concerned are you that they're going to make impact in the game? And what are some cards that you're thinking about getting? Hopefully, are you not going to get any of them?
I'm probably honestly done getting any new cards unless like I just decide that I have a hair up my butt and decide to do it. Um, I probably won't, but I did hear that I believe it's who is it? Is it Tony Gonzalez?
Yeah,
I
Tony Gonzalez,
he
yeah.
wipes out all the X factors on the defensive line. I believe that's what I was told today. So I think that is pretty damn crazy. Like, if I could afford to get Tony Gonzalez, I probably would go get Tony Gonzalez right now, and I'd wipe out all their defensive line X factors turned on. I mean, I don't even know how much Tony Gonzalez is going for. Somebody said 3 million coins. I don't know if that's true or not. Rose just said yeah, him and LT. So yeah, that would be pretty cool. So it turns it on for 10 plays and then he turns off and you have to do something to reactivate. Oh, bet. But yeah, the defensive line gets turned off. So, like, people that could do it. I'm sure I'll probably see it in the tournaments next week when I do it. So I think that would be pretty damn like good to get once you agree on that trade to get that kind of person to turn off defensive line X factors.
Nah, it'd be good for sure. Is it just X factors or is it like abilities in general?
I was
I
told
was
X
told X
factors,
factors,
but I'm not
but I'm
entirely
not
sure.
entirely
Like I
sure.
just
Like
heard
I just
about
heard
it
about it
this
this
morning.
morning.
Yeah, so if it's just X factors, I mean that's still a crazy thing, but like if it's able to like because like right now I have 99 Derek Brooks. He's a right outside linebacker, but I put him at the edge, and I have edge threat elite on him. So I mean, if they have Tony Gonzalez and they're able to deactivate edge threat elite, I mean, I don't think that that's the case. That sounds a little bit too. I mean, I could be wrong, but that sounds too ridiculous. It sounds like it counters just the X factors. Um, which X factors are definitely X factors, but how many of them just don't work at all? Like, you know, it's been 5 years since they had abilities, and you have the double me X factor lit up, and they're on one coverage, and they just get a pick anyways. So, that to me, that just is what it is. What do you think about Eric Dickerson though? Because you weren't. I don't think you were playing when he was like a main factor in Madden 20. But is that someone that you'd probably be looking to get? Is Eric Dickerson?
Madden 20. Yeah, I was in Madden 20, but I don't know if I got Dickerson, bro. Actually, I don't think I played with him. People are telling me that this Dickerson's not as good as Bo Jackson running back. Again, I cannot verify that. So Rose said it's X factors, not abilities. I once the game starts, LT right away and turns off, so you can turn Freight Train off first play. Oh, that's wild. So yeah, I think it's pretty lit X factors, Trey. I haven't used Dickerson this year, so I'm not entirely sure. She says Eric Dickerson's Freight Train, I believe, costs 1 AP, turns on 10 plays. Then you need 2 plays at 10 yards running to reactivate. And then good luck trying to do that with sheds. Have you gotten
Have
it
you
yet,
gotten it
Trey?
yet, Trey?
Nah, I haven't gotten it yet. I'm pretty much because I'm kind of like you at this point. I mean, it's like because they're starting to drop 99 overalls. I think they're going to slow down on the promos and all of that. So really, it's like one of those things for me. It's like if I'm able to get the cards, I would. But of course, if I have extra money, then yeah, I'll probably spend it because I'm a degenerate. But overall, I think I'm pretty much done. I think the number one card that I would like to get is the Lawrence Taylor because he probably has crazy block shed, and I compare him with Derek Brooks, two of them coming off the edge. Probably get a lot of sacks on that. So yeah. So the last podcast we did, we were talking about Madden 24 wish list. Now Shane came on and he was saying, he wants the offensive line to be able to be more powerful against the defense when they're in nickel and dime formation. He wants to see the offensive linemen just easily be able to overpower the safeties if they put safeties at the linebacker spot. So hopefully that's something that they would listen to. I have a few things that I wanted to add to the list, and Shane can give me his take on it. I want them to bring back Weekend League, how it used to be in like Madden 20 to 21. And I think that because my two favorite Maddens over the past however many years, 6 years, 7 years, were Madden in 20 and 21. And I think the Weekend League was probably the reason why I enjoyed it so much. So hopefully that I wanted to have had. And my second second thing I would want to see is the KO ability. I want that out. Like, it's so annoying that when I throw the ball in a tight window, how the DB can just touch my guy and it gets knocked out. And, people are saying it's like, oh, zones are playing good because if you throw a tight pass, it gets knocked out. Like, let's not give EA Sports credit for using duct tape to fix an issue. The reason why they have knockouts is because they can't make zone defenders play properly. So they just say, okay, well, we can't make zones play properly, so if you throw a ball in a tight window, you're going to drop it. And then the third thing is if I throw a bad pass, like say I throw a ball in a zone, I'm cool with it being picked off by the computer. Like, that's fine to me, but what I absolutely can't stand is if I'm throwing the ball over the middle and the computer jumps like Superman over the line of scrimmage and just catches the ball. Like, that to me is absolutely ridiculous. Like, I think it should be all user. I'm cool if a user does it, but the computer over here just jumping everything, making all these plays, I do not like. So I know I said a lot, but what is your take on all that, Shane?
Trey, I agree with you. Honestly, I agree with you. Weekend League would be sick to come back. Like, they really need to bring that back. I do think that the user also needs to um, be more important. So I agree with you about like the defense line. And yes, if you throw a bad read, like you deserve to get picked by computer or by not computer. And the KOs, bro, they're terrible. Like, I am so glad that people are finally catching on to what I saw what was going to happen like 5, 6 years ago. You can vouch for me on this, Trey. I said abilities will end up ruining the game and people will end up hating it. And people were like, "Nah, it's going to be not you or Rose. No, it's going to be amazing." Now people are starting to be like, "Look, the KOs suck. They knock the ball out." And then, but at the same time, like the pros don't want pre-lit, right? So they don't want pre-lit one-on-one coverage because they say it's fake. But then they can sit in dollar and have KO on it, and it'll knock the ball out on you unless you have pre-lit. And yeah, Rose said KOs make offense unplayable late in the year. Stack three universal coverages, have KOs medium and deep on all secondary, and then have lurk artists over the middle. I mean, and yeah, and stop every run in dollar. Yes, and see that's a problem, but the problem starts at the competitive level. And I'm being honest when I say that. I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm not trying to throw anyone under the bus. But in Madden 18, zones were really really good. It was like man coverage, and Kiv was losing to people, and he was raging. And at the time, Kiv was a big household name, like big, like Henry was, or how Henry is now. So EA listened to Kiv, and Kiv said the zone coverages didn't like were broken and they were too OP and yada yada. But it was funny because I'm not even the best passer in competitive side of things. But I didn't have problems throwing against zone coverage in Madden 18. It's because I know the concepts well enough. Like, no, I'm not no like guru. I'm not gonna lie and be like, yeah, I know I'm like the best zone coverage reader of all time. But well enough where I'm like, oh, okay, he's sitting in cover two or he's sitting in cover four, or cover three, or whatever, and it's like, for me, it makes it an issue, and it starts at the top, and it's the competitive players. Like, look at this, they really want Dollar to be the end all defense, and they want it to be able to stop runs because they hate runners. 99% of competitive MCS players hate runners. They hate them with a passion. And then what goes on is, so they listen to the competitive players, they knock out run game, right? For the most part, unless like you're a G like me or Trey or or like Rose with goal line, but but no, what they do is they do the dollar, right? It stops the run for most people. Okay, so now you have to pass. Well, now these pros sit in dollar and they blitz and have KO abilities, and it just ruins the game and it ruins everything. So, on that aspect, is what the issue is. Like, it starts at the top with the MCS players, especially the champions. They listen to them more. Rose said they could make zones work, they just need to make zones cover how they do without the knockout ability. Let them break like they would, but leave it to the ratings whether the wide receiver actually holds on. Rose, that's what it was in like Madden 18. That's exactly what I was saying. And yes, like yes, and to do the 101 Moss AKO's the X Factor. Yes, agreed. The abilities have ruined the game. The abilities have ruined the game, and more people have come around to it. I was more on the aspect of like I really enjoyed Madden 16 and 17. I believe it was Madden 17 still, and possibly Madden 18, where they had 3 stars on offense, 3 stars on defense. And maybe with Mutt, you could do it where like you get to pick your 3 superstars that have the abilities and 3 on defense. Well, yes, so you could still ruin it, but like I don't know. They need to figure it out. I guess what I'm saying is they need to really tone it down. Trey, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. They definitely need to tune it down. Yeah, I agree with you on the zone coverage aspect. I guess I think where me and you kind of have a disagreement though is like I don't want zones to be like psychic. And I've seen my fair share of psychic zones. That's kind of why I stopped playing Madden on all pro difficulty and season. And I kind of switched to the all Madden ones because I think that all pro has some dynamic adjustments to it, and I can understand if like you're doing something that's like glitchy or cheesy, I guess you would say. But my thing is like if you have a play that is supposed to work against a certain coverage and the computer is just adjust to it and defends it, that's not to me that's not skill related. Like because it's like if you don't know how to stop a play that works and you're just running the same defense or running coach suggestions and the defense adjusts for you, it's like why is that, a thing, or why is it user controlled? So that would probably be my thing. But yeah, yeah, I mean, I'm glad that we have the same opinions on when it comes to the KOs and the stuff like that. I mean, you'd be surprised, like, and I was kind of surprised on how many players, like, you can go to the pro side, but there's a lot of players that actually like the KOs, and I was kind of taken back by that because you would think they would just want the game to be all offense related, but even if you like the KOs, like I said, let's not give EA Sports credit for that because the zones are just as broken as they ever have been, but they're just again they're using duct tape to fix the issue. So, and they're a billion dollar company, so let's not forget that aspect. So let's switch gears to the draft talk. We have the NFL draft coming up, not this Thursday, but the Thursday after that. And my first question to you, Shane, is are you someone that likes the draft? And do you remember a specific draft being a Seahawks fan that you were watching in particular and you got either really upset or really happy that they drafted someone, or for the most part you just kind of whatever on it?
I'm going to be honest. I'm not really a big combine guy, and I'm not really a big NFL draft guy. I will like be like okay and read about it later, like break it down later for my team. I do remember. I believe there's 2 drafts in my life that and it resulted in a Super Bowl. And I'm being honest, like I watched my teams when they sucked in the '90s. So like miss me with you just became a fan when they became good. No, but the best drafts were I think it was in 2011 when they got Earl Thomas and Richard Sherman. Or wait, was it two? Damn, I don't remember now, bro. No, it was 2011, and then I think 2012 was Bobby Wagner, Russell Wilson, and a couple others. Like I'm drawing a blank right now, but those two drafts were about as amazing as you can get. Um, and I mean, it set the culture for Seattle Seahawks for the next 5, 6, 7, 8 years. So, I mean, those were probably one of the best. Another funny story is I remember when I was a little kid, like I was a little kid, and the Seahawks sucked, their QBs sucked, and they got the next Joe Montana, Rick Meyer. Rick Meyer was going to be the next Joe Montana, going to lead Seattle to the promised land, and he went. That's how bad he was. So for that, not, I don't really get too up, too down because some players pan out right away and then flame out, and then some pan out and become awesome all through their career, and then some don't start good and then become great at the end. Yeah, Rose, I'm a huge Mariners tweeter. I will say that I tweet huge about the Mariners. Trey, the biggest guy. Do you want me to wait on who I think is going to be the biggest star from the draft before I answer?
Okay, yeah. So give me like your top. Well, just give me, I guess, your general opinion on some of the top guys that are going to be taken in the first round. And also, there is a rumor that Michael Penix Jr. I know you said before that you don't think the Seahawks will take him. So, has your opinion changed on Michael Penix? What do you think about Michael Penix in particular? And I guess, yeah, just what's your opinion on the guys in the draft?
Okay, so let's get into this a lot. Um, so Caleb Williams, USC. I think he'll be pretty good. Okay, I think he'll be pretty good. I don't think he's gonna be amazing at all, but I do think he'll be pretty good. Marvin Harrison Jr. from Ohio State. I think he's gonna be a stud. Okay, so I think Harrison Jr. is gonna be a stud. Drake Mam. I mean, I know they're talking about how he's top 10. Um, his ball placement and decision making is not good. I'm not really sold on him. Like, so where I'm at, like my guy that I think is gonna be the top Hall of Famer from this draft class. So you guys remember this, and I don't know how to say his name, so don't mock me on this. But this is the best guy that I think will be in the draft. He's from UW. It's gonna be Rome Odunze. I think that's how you say it. He's a wide receiver. Watching him, I was so amazing. Like Penix is good. I don't think he's great. I think he's good. Okay, I think he's good, but not great. Great. I think Rome, the wide receiver from UW, and the coach made people way, way, way made him way, way better than he really was. Where are you at on this, Trey? What do you think is going to be the best pick in the draft?
All right, so forgive me if you already covered it because the way my sound is set up is that, and it has nothing to do with your end. It's on my end. Like sometimes you'll say a name and it cuts off and then it cuts back on. But so if you already covered these guys, it's cool. But what do you think of? We talked about Marvin Harrison and Adunze, and what is your take on J.J. McCarthy? He's another quarterback that from Michigan that people are saying that I know Harbaugh's a big J.J. McCarthy guy, and uh, what I'm drawing a blank on the other receiver right now. It'll come back to me. But what do you think about McCarthy? If you got a chance to watch him, what?
McCarthy, I think is going to be like a Kirk Cousins. That is
That is
my
Sorry to cut
comparison
you
right
off.
there.
Malik Neighbors, that's the receiver. Well,
Okay, Malik Neighbors. I haven't heard. Is that the guy from LSU?
I think so. Yeah, he's supposed to be like a lot of people are saying he's just as good as Harrison. So
I think he'll be pretty good. I don't think he'll be as good as Harrison or Adunye. I think that's how Adunye. I don't know how to say his name. So you guys know who I'm talking about, Rome. Rose said, yeah, Rome's kind of projected to be a 6th or 7th pick. Giants possibly because Hyatt and Robinson aren't ones in the NFL, and say Adunze could be Giants #1. I just like I know Rose said that Malik is like A1 next to Harrison. I'm really telling you guys that Dunze is going to be the best out of this draft class. JJ McCarthy comparison, Kirk Cousins. He reminds me of Kirk Cousins, okay? It'll be a good QB. I don't think great, but I don't think bad. So that's where I'm at on JJ McCarthy. He will be like Kirk Cousins. Remember this, guys, in about 3-4 years, that this is what I said. McCarthy is like Kirk Cousins, and Dunze is the best wide receiver in this draft class.
did you talk about Jaden Daniels at all yet? Did you?
No, I'm not really sold on him. I'm gonna be honest because he had a huge offensive line and those like a lot like those Alabama QBs and I know he's not from Alabama, but like I don't believe, right? Isn't he Clemson or LSU? Damn, now I'm drawing a blank.
LSU, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, but like those schools, those SEC schools have like NFL offensive lines. And for me, like I wasn't really that impressed with him. Like I watched him a few times actually. Now thinking about it, like I think he threw a game winner with like no time left, but he looked awful for most of the game. Like I'm not really impressed with him. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not really impressed with the QB class at all. I think JJ McCarthy will be like Kirk Cousins. I think Penix might be like I don't know. Like I think he'll probably do pretty good, but he won't be like people are proclaiming him to be, at least in Washington State. All the people that I'm listening to and dealing with, like they think he's like gonna be like the next like superstar, like you know, take over the NFL type.
Got you. So yeah. So it sounds like because you're not sold on Drake May. You think that he kind of looks a little bit scary. You think JJ McCarthy is going to be Kirk Cousins, and Kirk Cousins is, I don't know how you feel about Kirk Cousins, but I think he's actually pretty good. So it sounds like to you you're thinking that Caleb Williams is really the only quarterback that has like superstar potential. Is that accurate? Is that
Yeah, I think Caleb Williams has the best potential. I think JJ McCarthy is gonna be like a Kirk Cousins, where like most people don't talk about him or they joke about him, but like he's pretty good. But like he doesn't have that like superstar aura. Rose said that she thinks McCarthy's gonna be like a Geno Smith or Jimmy Garoppolo at best. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see, Rose, if you are right or I am right. But we got to give it 3 to 4 years, okay? 3 to 4 years. We'll be still having podcasts in 3 to 4 years. We'll still be having Madden and all that good time with each other, all of us. I'm just saying. I think Adunye is the best wide receiver in the draft.
all right? And then because I know you guys have had a new head coach, I don't know what your guys' GM is looking like, if he's new or if he's been around. But so from a Seahawks perspective, what are some of the fans are saying about the GM, like the off season moves and the draft and all that? Do you like your current GM and your new head coach so far? Or are you pretty skeptical?
Um, so it's a two-parter. Real quick, Rose said, I hope they're not making Madden in 3 years. I do, because I'm gonna be making money games again. I'm gonna be back on that money game probably next year. So I'm gonna be making sure my team's 99 mutt, baby, and I'm gonna be doing regs again. Anyways, so it is John Snyder. He's been around for a while with Pete Carroll. Like it really broke into two camps. Like, is it John Snyder who made the team good, or is it Pete Carroll who made it good? you know how that silly stuff happens when like breakups happen. Uh, we'll see. We'll see. A lot of fans are excited for the Baltimore coach. They still want the, you know, like they think that he's going to be a superstar. There a lot most people, I shouldn't say most, but a lot of the Seattle Seahawks fans are glad Pete Carroll's retired and they're ready to move on with the Baltimore head coach. But the problem is the pasture's not always greener on the other side of the fence. And I do think he'll actually do pretty good though. But like it's crazy because if you want to, if he needs to, if he's gonna replica what Pete Carroll did, he has to have like 10 or 11 winning seasons. He's gonna have to win a Super Bowl, go to two Super Bowls, and go to like 9 or 10 playoffs. And the funny thing is that like the people that hated Pete Carroll, right, Trey? The people that hated Pete Carroll from the Seahawk fan standpoint, which to me is effing wild. Okay, dude brought you the first Super Bowl ever in the state of Washington State. Okay, and you hate him. Well, they were like, yeah, watch our next coach. He's going to win it, make the playoffs, and we're going to go a round farther than Pete Carroll led Seahawks in the playoffs the last few years, right? Well, then Pete Carroll gets fired. Pete Carroll steps away, whatever. Mike McDonald comes over, and everybody's ecstatic. Well, the same people are like, the next coach is going to win more. That now they're saying you need to give him like 2 to 3 years. You need to go like 2 to 3 years of rebuild. Like they're moving the goalposts now. Rose. Well, the big thing is the front. Oh, kind of got tired of Carroll's way. Is not changing philosophy. He stuck to some favorites and defensive mind is a modern. Um, didn't Case? Yeah, but didn't KC have like top 10 defense for points per games allowed, Rose? I know the 49ers were like top 3 though. I really think that it's more I think it's more likely you need a top 10 offense and top 10 defense most of the time to win the game. But like if you look at the stats of like number 1 defense versus number 1 offense in the Super Bowl, the number 1 defense is still like 11-4, 11-5, and yeah, it definitely has become more offensive minded. Um, and we'll see, Rose. We'll see who's right. I have a feeling that and Pete Carroll's not perfect, just like I say about Scott Service for the Seattle Mariners. They're not perfect, but they win more games than they're expected to, and doesn't mean the next coach is going to be better than them. And now you're wishing them gone. I mean, it's a sticky situation. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, for sure. And I agree with you on the whole defensive thing. And it's like Shane said about Kansas City having a top ranked defense. And that's why I think their whole receiver talk is a little bit skewed. I mean, football is a team sport, but like if you look at some of the top receivers, Tyreek Hill, and I'm a Patriots fan, Miami, I don't even think we've beaten Miami, so I know how good Tua Tagovailoa is. But no one's talking about Tua being like the top 5 or top 3 quarterback in the NFL. You look at Patrick Mahomes, he really hasn't had too many good. I mean, he's obviously good. He's a superstar. But he doesn't have like a top receiver. I mean, Josh Allen had Stephon Diggs, not anymore, but Diggs is obviously good. But so I do agree with you that I think defense is a little bit overlooked. One guy I wanted to get your take on real quick is Brock Bowers. What do you think about Brock Bowers? Do you think he'll be the next Travis Kelsey, Rob Gronkowski, or no? What?
You know, I mean, he is pretty damn good. He played at Georgia, correct? I'm pretty sure he played at Georgia.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not too sure where he played, to be honest. I just know he's like a first round pick for.
I know that he's super fast, and like from when I watched him, I believe he's from Georgia. I'm actually like I'll look it up actually really quick. Brock Bowers. It's Bowers, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, yep, he played at Georgia. Okay, so yeah, he had a 4.53 40-yard dash, and he had pretty good hands. I think yes, Trey. I think he'll be on the line if he goes to. I'll say this right now: if he goes to an offense-minded coach, he'll look like a Travis Kelsey.
Alrighty. So Shane, I want to get your take on this. So you're the New England Patriots at number 3. You know, I know like from your perspective, you don't really think too much of Jaden Daniels. You think J.J. McCarthy is okay, but not great, and Drake May. But let's say hypothetically you're at number 3 in the draft and you think that the quarterback is going to be a franchise quarterback, would you take the franchise quarterback at 3, or do you think it would be better for them to trade out and stockpile draft picks and try to build around the team first before adding the quarterback?
Honestly, I probably would go with J.J. McCarthy, Trey, with New England.
All right, so Shane thinks there's actually a lot of people that think, I'm more of the I'm more of the opinion that I want to take Marvin Harrison at number 3, and then later on get one of the guys, if that's Bo Nix, Michael Penix, or even Spencer Rattler. I would want to go that route, but that's probably not going to happen. We're probably, if I had to guess from what I've been hearing, it's going to be Drake May, because I think Washington is going to draft Jaden Daniels. So, all right. So Shane, I've written down some of the throwback drafts. So I'm gonna name you. I'm gonna name you a draft. I'm going to name some of the Pro Bowlers that came from the draft, and I want you to give me how good you think the draft was from A to F, and who are some of your top players that are in the draft. So in this draft, we've had, I'm not going to give you the year yet. So Jameis Winston, Amari Cooper, Brandon Sheriff, Leonard Williams, Vic Beasley, Todd Gurley, Melvin Gordon, Marcus Peters, DJ Humphries, Eric Kendricks, Ali Marpet, Zadarius Smith, Daniil Hunter, DJ Alexander, Darren Waller, and Raheem Mostert, who went undrafted in that year. And
That's like a C minus to me. I don't think I'm not impressed with that many names in there. I'm gonna be honest.
right, that was actually the 2015 draft. All right, so what do you think of these names? Eric Fisher, Lane Johnson, Ezekiel Ansah, Eric Reed, Desmond Trufant, DeAndre Hopkins, Cordell Patterson, Zach Ertz, Le'Veon Bell, Eddie Lacy, Travis Kelce, C.J. Anderson, undrafted, A.J. Boye, quarterback for the Jags, was undrafted, and Adam Thielen, who was also undrafted in this year. And
I'm gonna give that a B plus A minus. So let's go with A minus on that, Trey.
all right, that was the 2013 NFL Draft. So this one you probably already know from the first name. Andrew Luck, Robert Griffin III, Ryan Tannehill, Luke Kuechly, Stephon Gilmore, Fletcher Cox, Melvin Ingram, Chandler Jones, David DeCastro, Dante Hightower, Harrison Smith, T.Y. Hilton, Tashawn Gibson, Michael Thomas, who went undrafted, and one of the good punters, Johnny Hecker.
I think it's a B plus there too. Rose thinks the last two drafts were a C minus and a C. But yeah, this one I think was I think this one was a B plus that he told me right now. 2012, right?
Yes, 2012. All right, so for this draft, we have Ndamukong Suh, Gerald McCoy, Trent Williams, Eric Berry, Joe Hayden, C.J. Spiller, Earl Thomas, Jason Pierre-Paul, Marquise Pouncey, Demarius Thomas, Des Bryant, Devin McCourty, T.J. Ward, Rob Gronkowski, Linval Joseph, Sam Shields, who went undrafted, Victor Cruz, who went undrafted, and Navarro Bowman, Epperson Griffin, and Cam Chancellor.
I mean, that's an A, bro. That is an A draft.
All right, Shane going with A for the 2010 NFL Draft. So for this draft, we have Baker Mayfield, Saquon Barkley, Denzel Ward, Bradley Chubb, Quentin Nelson, Josh Allen, the linebacker, I think, Roquan Smith, Mika Fitzpatrick, Vita Vea, Tremaine Edwards, Derwin James, DJ Chark, Fred Warner, Mark Andrews, Wyatt Teller, Philip Lindsay, Jeremiah Reeves.
I mean, like to me, like that's like a C plus. I'm not like, I mean, it's a little top heavy, and then after that, it just was like really, really nothing to me. So I'll say a C plus on that one.
Got you. All right, so for the last draft, we have Kyler Murray, Nick Bosa, Quinn Williams, Devin White, TJ Hawkinson, Chris Lindstorm, Jeffrey Simmons, Josh Jacobs, Montez Sweat, Debo Samuel, Eric McCoy, AJ Brown, Miles Sanders, McCole Hartman, DK Metcalf, Deontay Johnson, Terry McLaurin, Dawson Knox, Max Crosby, Tony Pollard, Hunter Renfro, Gardner Minshew, and AJ Cole.
I am gonna give this last one a B, maybe a B plus on that, and we'll see in a couple years if it goes up to, like an A minus.
Yeah, it's a little too early to tell, even though a lot of people are already saying that the 2021 draft with Trevor Lawrence and Mac Jones is terrible, but it's just that recency bias stuff going on, as you know. So yeah, we'll wait and see. Um, so how do you like your Seattle Seahawks? Like, do you think you guys are in a pretty good position? Have you had a lot of players leave in free agency? And what do you think the current state of the Seattle Seahawks is in right now?
I think the Seahawks are in a good position. I really do. Like, I think their offense is OP, if you want to know the truth. I think the offense is going to be really good. Like, I don't think Gino's like amazing, but I don't think he's horrible. I think he's decent. Also, the wide receiver core stands out to me a lot, and the running backs are still pretty damn good. And the defense, like, should get better, hopefully, with Mike McDonald, right? He's a young innovator that is smart and knows how to run different disguised blitzes. I think the Seahawks should be good, and I think if they suck and they're not good next year and they're not good the year after, then McDonald underachieved, and that's just being honest. Like the team set up right now is close to being a playoff team or should be a playoff team. Just matter of factly, without if injuries don't happen, they should be a playoff team, in my opinion. So I'll give leeway for a couple years, but after that, like if he doesn't do anything, then he's underachieving, and that should be fair, correct?
Yeah, without question, that's a pretty good window to give somebody a chance and all of that. So, what do you think about the other teams in your division? Do you think that the 49ers are going to be good again next year? Do you think that the Cardinals are kind of getting close, and the Rams? Do you think the Rams have any chance to be good Or do you think the 49ers are the team to beat in that division?
I still think the 49ers are going to be the team to beat. I think the Rams will be battling it out with the Seahawks. And then I think Arizona will be the bottom feeder, but they're going to get a little bit better, obviously, too. So I think, yeah, the 49ers will be the team to beat.
Gotcha. So yeah, so you're a big Geno. Well, you're not a big Geno Smith guy, but you talk about someone who was kind of written off, at the beginning of the year. Now that happened with Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold is another quarterback that a lot of people are written off, but some people think that he has a good place to go with the Minnesota Vikings. Do you think that Sam Darnold could be a guy that does good up in Minnesota with a solid supporting cast around him this time around?
I will say this is his best shot. And if he doesn't pan out in Minnesota, I'm honestly going to find it hard for him to be the main guy in the future. So I think this is a big make it or break it year for him next year for Sam Darnold.
All right, sounds good. And so so we already talked about Russell Wilson going to Las Vegas, and I think you said that Russell Wilson could have a good season. I was kind of disappointed that Denver didn't pick him up. I mean, you had Sean Payton over there and Russell Wilson, and they kind of messed up the Denver Broncos, in my opinion, because they actually won a lot more games than they should, and now it looks like they're probably going to rely on Jarrett Stidham to lead the way. So I kind of want to switch gears because we were talking about the Denver Broncos, and that kind of made me think of another kind of hot topic that's going around in the football world, and that is Coach Prime. Like, what is your take on, because he's become quite the polarizing figure in college football with the Colorado Buffaloes out. Like, how much are you invested into the whole Coach Prime saga that's going on?
Just fix something. Russell Wilson's at Pittsburgh, not Vegas, Trey.
So my bad. Sorry
No,
about
no,
that.
you know
My
what?
bad.
I needed to verify it so people listening, in case they pick up on it, they can't say crap to us. Russell Wilson went to Pittsburgh. Trey's thinking the Raiders because he's in love with the Raiders now. No, I'm just joking. Anyways, Coach Prime, I mean, he made people pay attention to college football more, Trey. The like, like the general public, to see how he's doing, love him or hate him, he's pulling in ratings, right? Do I think he will become some amazing NFL coach? I mean, it's a wait and see. But I mean, I like Deion Sanders, especially when he used to play. I mean, so I mean, yeah, he definitely is polarizing, like you said, and I think that it'll be fun to witness how he does in the future.
Yeah, for sure. And what do you think of his kids that are playing? You have Shadur Sanders, Travis Hunter, I think, is another one, and Shiloh. Do you think that they are pretty good prospects coming up, bro?
Yeah, what's funny is I actually think his son, the quarterback, is actually pretty darn good. I think he's going to get more hate than he should, just because the people, if they don't like Dion, are going to pile on him. I think he's pretty good. I think Travis Hunter is really good, like really, really good. So, like, yeah, I do think they're really good NFL prospects, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. It'll be interesting to see. Now I could be wrong. I remember seeing something. I don't know if this was the guy, which I probably should, but a guy that you were talking about is Destroying, who plays in the UFL now. And is it correct that he actually got hurt? He like hurt his neck or something, or am I thinking about someone totally different?
No, bro. So Xan was in here, and I answered him through the podcast chat, our podcast chat that we have going on. So yeah, Destroying broke his neck in multiple spots, and he said he's retiring from football. It was a poor tackle. I mean, you run in full bore, head down, launching yourself at another grown man who's an NFL or a very very good football player, not NFL, but very very good football player. Let's be honest, running full bore, and you led with your head. I mean, Destroying unfortunately knows, like he messed up on the tackle, and at the same time, he kind of got screwed because if he would have hit with the shoulder maybe a little bit, maybe he would just had like a broken shoulder. But like the doctor said, he's out I think it said a minimum of 6 months or whatever. And then Destroying said, "This closes a chapter on my football career." So yeah, I mean it sucks for him because I follow his videos with my son, and I mean, seems like a pretty cool guy. One of the few YouTubers that like I kind of enjoy watching. Like, there's multiple YouTubers where I just want to punch them in their face, like the prank people, because it's not really funny pranks like, oh haha, we're all being funny together. It's more like they try to purposely annoy you so you either react with anger or freak out so they can sell views. Like, I mean, I don't really care for them, and I know like some people do, and that's fine, but different flavors of tea, I guess. But no, Destroying was one of the guys that I was like, yeah, man, I like watching him. My son and I actually watched him. I believe when there wasn't even that many people watching him, and he was just trying to kick field goals and show how far he could kick field goals. And now he's a multimillionaire. I mean, like he tried, he did what he could do, and unfortunately, he's way smaller than people, and he broke his neck. And if he decides to really hang it up, or if it's just in his feelings right now, we'll see. But either way, I'll be tuning into his videos down the road.
Yeah, well, I actually think that a lot of those prank videos that you're talking about, like, I think a lot of them are kind of fake. Like the like the one prank video that I remember watching is like they would go to like stores and they would just throw things at people, but they would turn around real quickly to make it seem like it wasn't them that threw it, and they seen that reaction. But I think it's fake because number one, the people that are in the video, like the women that are in there, like like they look pretty hot. And I'm like, I go to Walmart, maybe it's because I live in Idaho, but I'm like, the people that are at Walmart over there look nothing like that, so I don't know if it's fake or
Well,
whatever.
Trey,
But
Trey, I will say, when I was in California, there's a lot of good-looking people, men and women, in Walmart there. And it's just more people, right? So there's more people that you can choose and pick. So like, let's say you and I go to Seattle, right? And we're doing a podcast. We could go to a Walmart or a place and find good-looking guys or good-looking women because there's way more people in Seattle, right, than where you're at or where I'm at. So it's easier to pick from. Does that make sense? Like, that's what I
yeah,
think.
yeah.
I think that's what they do. Like, and yes, some is fake. Like, Fousey too. I loved that dude when he first came out. Like, kind of crazy now, but I loved those pranks. They were cool, but then I found out that they were all fake. So yes, there are fake ones, but then there's some ones where like there's been people like I saw one dude get his lip split open and his tooth went through his lip before they started removing certain videos. Like, and there's been people that have been shot and killed. And it's like there's this, like, I don't know if you know the kid Neon or anything. That kid has the most punchable face I've ever seen in my life. Like, and he got like arrested in Dubois now, and like he's in the like jail because of doing pranks. Like, I mean, those aren't really funny. Like, you know what kind of funny are is like the people that dress up and like they're like a plant, right? And they blend in and they jump out and scare. Like, okay, that might not be the most funny thing, but it is kind of hilarious because it's like they're not trying to ruin your day. Does that make sense in the difference of it? Like, they're doing a jump scare, which, yeah, you might get mad at or whatever, but, like, other people are these guys are like literally like coming up to you per se and like kicking your leg, right, or punching you, and then being like, "It's just a prank. It's just a prank." Rose said the only main prank channel she watches is That Was Epic. Uh Yo, I'm not gonna lie, I watch him a lot too, Rose. Like That Was Epic. I don't know if you watch that, Trey, either, but he's really cool. Like, yes, he will cut like a cord of like some cheap headphones you have on, but they give you the top brand right after. Oh, she said that. She said it right after me. So Trey, like, those are the people I like because like at least they're doing something to like. Okay, yeah, it might not. What if you? I love those headphones, but you know, I guess you know where I'm coming from. I like the ones that are like really try to bully you until you punch them in their face, and then they get mad at you and say it's a prank. Is annoying as f.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I mean, really, the only prank video in this guy, I don't even think he posts anymore, but like when I was growing up, he was pretty popular, but Onich Pranks, he used to do like prank calls and all that. Like, and that guy was like super talented. Like, he could do like any kind of like stereotype or whatever. Like, he's able to do like a lot of voices, so. I mean, even if you get annoyed by him, you can kind of sit back and say, "Yeah, it's pretty impressive, though. Kind of wish he could use it for something a little bit more substantial, but it is what it is." But yeah, I agree with you. It's like it is funny. Like I can admit, they're trolling people. It's sometimes funny. Like I don't do it so much, but sometimes when you poke the bear at someone and they react angrily, sometimes it's funny, sometimes it is, but at the same time, like if I try to troll someone and it gets to the point where they might try to do something, like I can't be like it's just a prank because I mean, what did you expect? Like you're pushing someone to the point where they want to beat you up physically. I feel like you have to have the you have to be prepared for if they want to punch you in the face. You know what I'm saying? So
No, right,
yeah,
and like for example on this Trey, one of the examples is like this one YouTuber pranker that's like super famous with like I would say probably 12-year-olds to 18, maybe 12 to 20-year-olds is he'll go around and act like he's farting on you. Or he'll go on and have like a little spray bottle and come up behind you and then sneeze all over you, supposedly, but he's bottling the neck. And then the guy will turn around and be like, "Did you just fart on me?" Or like, "Did you just sneeze on me?" Like, really? And why are you this close to me? And he'll look at him and not say anything. So he'll be like from me to you, like 2 feet away. And then not say anything. And then the person will be like, "Dude, what's your problem?" And then he'll be like, "What's your problem?" And then the guy will be like, "Dude, back up." And he'll be, "Back up." And then there has been where it's gone physical, and he's been punched before, but like, why are you doing that? Like, that's not really funny. Like, I mean, it's not really that funny. Like Rose said, like this one guy from This Was Epic, or That Was Epic. Like he hands out money and helps people do that or helps pay rent. Like I mean, like, but like Rose about even getting jumped. Like, dude, I promise you, like if somebody farts on me accidentally, I'm not gonna get mad. I might look at you like you, but like I'm not gonna get mad. But like if you literally like come up behind me and shit on me, farting, pardon my language, and then I turn around and you're like right in my bubble just staring at me, and I'm like, "Yo, you good? Everything good?" And you're like, "Yo, everything good?" I'm gonna tell you to back up, and I'm gonna give you a warning. I give warnings, and then after that, like, I think the cops should just be like, "Meh, you were antagonizing, you were instigating, you were aggressive. You got punched in your face. Move along." And it is true in Washington State, you can fight one on one without getting in trouble, but both have to agree to it. and once the person's getting beat up, you have to stop. But yeah, that's where I am, Trey.
Yeah, no, I kind of thought that the jackass pranks were pretty funny. I think the most like hilarious prank that I ever seen was the scene where they were at the golf course and they were wearing ghillie suits and they had these air horns. So every time they went to take their swings, they would just blow the air horns at them like that. Like stuff like that is just hilarious to me. But speaking of, you're talking about fights. This is a good segue too, because we're talking about fights. We're talking about, people getting punched or whatever. We have a UFC event that's coming up, UFC 300 on Saturday. Shane, do you know anything about what's going on there? And also the whole Jake Paul, Mike Tyson thing. What's your takes on that?
So tonight is UFC 300, like you said, and I think it's going to be really good. I think some people are going to say it's a letdown because you know how the hype goes, but like you got Pereira versus Hill, that'll be a good one. Then you got Zhang Weili, she's really good, and then you got Holloway and Gaethje. Like I mean, this is some good fights. Like I'm gonna be honest, you got Holly Holm versus Kayla Harrison. Like that'll be really really dope. And so I think it'll be cool. Like well, I can't say what I'm gonna do. Hey, anyways, yeah, I'll be watching it tonight. I'm planning on it unless I fall asleep because I'm so tired. But Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. I really Jake Paul doesn't bug me really like he bugs other people. Like I think he's actually a pretty good boxer. But boy, oh boy, I want Mike Tyson to knock him out, bro. Because people are gonna like some people are gonna clown if Jake Paul beats up Mike Tyson, but like Jake Paul's a pretty good boxer. Oh well, he beats up MMA guys. Oh, like dude, like he beats up more people than you would beat up. Not you per se, but the people saying this. He does. I'm not gonna go out and knock out Tyrone Woodley. I mean, let's just be honest on that. Like he's good enough, but like I don't want it to happen. I wish they weren't fighting each other. I really wish they weren't fighting each other because if Mike Tyson loses, let's be honest, it's because he's old. Okay, Jake Paul couldn't sniff Mike Tyson's jock strap, prime versus prime, and even Jake Paul has said that. But like honestly, you're gonna have some kids, some weirdos being like trying to clown Mike Tyson. Like, dude, Mike Tyson's almost 60 years old. What do you think Mike Tyson, when he was 20 years old, would do to Jake Paul, who's, I think, close to 30? He'd knock him out in 30 seconds. Like, let's be honest. So, I'm rooting for Mike Tyson. Like I said, I've met Mike Tyson in person. Really cool person. Like, yes, I am glad he's older. I didn't want to meet coked up Mike Tyson. That would be scary as hell. But, I did meet Mike Tyson in Vegas, and he was really welcoming and really cool. Huge hands, huge face. You can tell where he gets his punching power from with his hands, man, and huge thighs to torque that punch.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's all like Hollywood script, if we're being honest. People could say it's like, oh well, Mike Tyson isn't gonna take a dive, but it's like if you think about how much money they're going to make from the pay-per-views and all that, I think it's all fake. If I'm being honest, but I think it'll still be interesting to watch, but I'm one of those people that think it's all kind of rigged and like there's a script to it and all that, but I could be wrong. And so, what do you think? Like, what do you think fighting style? This is kind of off topic. But what do you think fighting style is best for self-defense? I think that wrestling, learning how to wrestle, is probably the best style for like self-defense. Because if you're able to get someone down into a hole or whatever, I think you'll be pretty set for the most part. For
I think look, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I looked the stat up, and like most adults have not even been in a fight in their life. So I mean, really, for the most part, if you can fight okay, you're going to be okay against most people, right? I think it was like 50% or 60%. And then I think it was like 80% have only been in one fight in their life. And then you got the other 20% that are tough or badasses, right? And 20% might seem little, but 20% of the world, that's a lot of people, right? Because I think it's like 8 billion now. 10% is what, 800 million or something? Times it by two, so 1.6 billion, something like that. So they know how to fight. Like me, I like for me, like me when I've been in fights, I can punch, but I think I prefer. I'm better wrestler. I'm better at taking control of you and taking you to the ground and getting on top and handling business. But I mean, when I used to box when I was a teenager into young adult, like we'd box each other. Friends and I, we'd scrap. We put on boxing gloves and like we'd do it, or we'd have people test. Like like one kid I knocked out with an uppercut, clean flush. I mean, probably my best throw ever. I mean, I've dropped a guy who tried to jump my brother at Coeur d'Alene, who's like way bigger than me, way taller. So punching there, like sure that helps, but like yeah, Trey, probably if I'm an elite wrestler or elite jiu-jitsu, that's what I prefer because like I'm comfortable on the ground then, right? Like if I'm just a boxer and if I swing and for some reason, yeah, if I connect with you, you're knocked out, right? Like you've seen that. You saw how Francis Ngannou, I don't know if you saw that Francis Ngannou got knocked out by the boxer Joshua. Like because they're in a boxing ring, right? Well, I think probably jiu-jitsu. Like if I can like get you to the ground and then put you in an arm bar, you know what I mean, or a neck crank or heel hook, like that is probably the top one to me is like mixed martial arts and then probably wrestling and then boxing. But like let's just be honest, if you have one of the three in a normal street fight, you're probably going to win, but normal street fights aren't really fair because let's say Trey, you and I are fighting each other and you're whooping my butt and then my friends jump you. You know what I mean? And that happens a lot. Or like I used to watch World Star on YouTube all the time and it would trigger me. It would trigger me so bad because I'd be watching a fight and it'd be one on one, right? And this guy would start beating up the other guy and then they jump him and they talk about how they beat him up and how tough they are. Or like, the two guys are arguing. One guy goes, "Whatever, man, I'm not going to do it," and start to walk away. And the guy, cheap shots him and knocks him out. And then his friends brag about how tough he is. Like, look, I'll be honest. Anyone can knock out anyone if they're not ready for it. I could probably get knocked out by my 18-year-old son right now if I'm not paying attention and he comes and cold cocks me. I mean, so that stuff on World Star or whatever it was, that triggered the hell out of me. Like I don't know about you, Trey. Like I don't find that tough. I don't find cheap shotting people and knocking them out that tough. So that's where I'm at on that. And yes, I did answer you, I believe, right? I think mixed martial arts or wrestling would probably be my go-to if I had to excel at something.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And hopefully Shane's son Corey, who I know is in the chat sometimes, don't try to knock out your dad like like just randomly. That probably wouldn't be good. Although it might get some views on World Star though, but no, don't do it. But yeah, no, I agree. Jiu-jitsu is obviously one of the more popular ones. Definitely a lot more training and all that. So yeah, I guess that would be it. I don't really have nothing else. We appreciate you guys for stopping by for the early afternoon version. Try to get you guys next 2 weeks from now, next Friday, probably around 10:30. We'll be back and in full effect with another episode, the post-draft reaction version of the West Coast Podcast. Probably going to get some golden ticket announcements that are going to be coming up pretty soon in Ultimate Team as we near closer to Madden 25 2.0 and the new college football game. Can't say NCAA because it's too taboo at this point. So it's the college football video game. So a lot of exciting stuff coming up in the summer, which I'm pretty excited for. If you plan on watching the fight today, hope you have a good time and all that. And I'll throw it back over to Shane to close us out for this edition of the West Coast Podcast.
Appreciate it, Trey. And like I said, we always appreciate everybody being in here. From Rose to X Fan to man, I'm drawing a blank. I apologize. To Doors for coming in here. Always appreciate it. Doors, I'm actually getting off right after this. I am gonna try to go rest. I gotta do some stuff too, but I gotta go rest. Did we PSN each other, Doors? Let me know if we PSN'd each other. I'm not entirely sure if we did or if we didn't. And I'm drawing a blank. Okay, what was it again? What was your name again before I sign off? Because sorry, I'm really, like I said, I'm really really tired. So I apologize on that. But no, So anyways, let's just Oh, Big. Okay, Big man, you need to change your name to Biggie, bro. You need to change your name to Biggie, bro. So now I know, bro. But damn, you got the 99 Randy Moss, bro. Damn. Uh, or let's see. But just to sum up the West Coast podcast, you guys, Trey and I always appreciate it. It's always fun times. Um, yeah, I'm gonna try to watch UMC fight tonight. Or UFC, not UMC. Like, I don't think the UMC crew's gonna be fighting each other, bro. But I could put it on pay-per-view, dog. But anyways, I will wrap this up. We will see you guys April 26th. Oh man, Trey, I might have a birthday party I have to go to, either 26th or 27th. I would definitely update everybody. Trey, don't hate me again. But once we get out of April, bro, we're pretty much in smooth sailing. But for Trey, I'm Shane. This was the West Coast Podcast. I appreciate you guys, like always, and so does Trey. Hey, Biggie, I like it. Shout out. Shout out to Biggie on that. All right, you guys. We'll talk soon.